So many people have said to me that they saw the video, and a couple things were happening. First of all, like I said, I'm standing in the White House, and my family is right in front of me. My children are crying, and they're so excited. And I'm standing on the stage, and I looked back at one point when I was speaking, and something struck me. This whole year, I've been talking about, diversifying the profession, about recruiting minorities into teaching. And I was standing there with an African-American president and an African-American secretary of education and 57 teachers behind me and only 2 other persons of color, and I realized that that's what education looks like behind me. But for the next year, I have an opportunity to remind people of how important it is to diversify this profession, to put role models in front of kids, to remind them that they belong in education and that they are participants in this academic journey. So in that moment, when I watch it, everyone just sees me, excited and, to introduce the president, but there were so many other things going on right at that moment. And the funny thing is, every time I watch it, those feelings come flooding back every single time. It never gets old, even thinking about it. I think this year has given me, I've looked at education through so many different lenses that I never even knew existed, and it still is quite simple. This idea that we are driven by test scores or content or standards. Yes, all of those things are important. We are educators after all. But we are not paying enough attention to the people in front of us, the children that we teach, the communities that we serve. I think that our role as educators is not just to graduate students, but to graduate citizens. People who will live in our communities, people who you want to be neighbors with, people who will work in jobs and give back to, the less fortunate. That's the kind of educator I want to be. I think that we haven't spent enough time talking about things like that or preparing kids in those ways. So I've had the opportunity really this year to share that value, my belief system. I think that we've spent a lot of time, as we should, when we look at comparing our students nationally, internationally to students around the world, academically, where do they rate, how are they testing? All of that is important. But I would take a kid who is of service in their community and a B or C student any day over, a straight A, highest performing student who cares nothing about anyone else. And I think that that's what education is lacking. That's that piece that, systems really have not embraced. That's that piece that, everyone has value, no matter who they are. Everyone has a gift, everyone makes a contribution, and we really need to nurture that empathy more, from kindergarten through high school, so that kids leave us prepared for the challenges that they're going to face in the world.